Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Stitch and Books. My name is Jill. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a 30-something professional nanny living in Southern California, and this is my channel where I talk about cross stitch and the books that I listen to while stitching. And buckle up, buttercups, because we have Christmas haul at the end. So this should be a fun, wild ride if that's what you like to see. If not, this will be a very short floss tube in terms of stitching because I haven't had much. So let's get into it. I do have one tiny little finish for you. I did not count this into my finishes for the year. In my 2026 Whip Parade, I did like my stats for the year 2025. This one I kind of forgot about until I was preparing for this video. Okay, so this is, I got it from a magazine that I have saved in my files app as just Handmade Christmas, and it's Scandi Heart cross stitch ornament. So this is what I have. It's very, very tiny because I stitched this on 56 count linen, antique white, 56 count linen. It is teeny tiny. I absolutely love, you probably will not be able to focus in on those stitches, but it's so tiny. I absolutely love this. So why I forgot that I had it is because this is the 56 count linen that I got off of the freebie table at Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit in September, and that I was also gifted like the silk to go with it. This is the silk that I was gifted from Anna from We Are Curious Crafters at the retreat. This is a Soie Sur Fine, and the number is 2664. So it's just a gorgeous red. So that is what I stitched this on for the 56 count. And this is so dang cute. I absolutely love it. So tiny. I have no clue what I will do with this, but I love that it's just teeny tiny. So I did this because I wanted to see if I could do it, because I have a project coming up that you'll see in haul and plans that I wanted to see if I could stitch it on 46 count. So I tried 56. If I could do 56, I could do 46, and I can do 56. It's adorable. All I know, again, it's Handmade Christmas, a magazine. I think it might be called Handmade Christmas, and it's Scandi Heart cross stitch heart ornament. That is what I have for like a finish, a start and finish, and where I completely forgot about it because it was more of like test stitching. As for whips, here we have my Quaker. So you've seen me work on this a lot. This is from Star Parade Designs and what I call my organ stitch, because it's green and yellow, people, green and yellow. Here I have, this is not any different from my Whip Parade, but I understand that some people don't watch Whip Parade. So here's what I've been working on. I really just kind of did more of the little feathers. I finished the like heart ducks, came down and then did this feather, which I'm still missing the stem for. So the season is sadly over. 1 year we'll make it. We've made it to the final game before. It's just we've never won. So 1 year we will. But this is, I might stitch on it. I took this to Florida because it was just monochromatic. I'm stitching this on, here's the details, 36 count Arboreal linen from Cedar River Linen and Designs. Absolutely love this. And I'm stitching it with a Pirate Robin Floss called Butter. Absolutely so cute. So I might bring it out. It is really nice to just do one color and work on the Quakers and work on this piece. For the holiday season, I started this project you saw as a new start in my last video. So this is Kringles by Little House Needleworks. I have digitized this chart, so it is in my saga. I am at 8.6% for this chart. And I absolutely love working on this. So here I am. I am doing this on a 40 count Slate linen from Fiber on a Whim. I think it's the most gorgeous little blue, sky blue for this chart. But again, if you saw my whip parade, this looks nothing different. But I basically, from my last regular update, I worked on more of the roof and getting that in and just kind of enjoying the stitch. I absolutely love working on this. The stitches are tiny. I think I've definitely entered like a tiny stitch time in my stitching, but I absolutely love this. I think for moving ahead, I would pull this out, not on like in season. I'm not a seasonal stitcher, but I think I will just kind of like move down because we have one square, 2 square, and then 3 square. So I do think I'll like move down and move over. That's my stitching path for this. But this is a little choo-choo train. Chugga chugga choo-choo, little choo-choo train. I think like, I forget what all goes in this window, but I absolutely love this. So it's one strand over 2. Quaker was 1 strand over 2. But this is just so adorable. I absolutely love this chart. It's gonna take me a long time, so I do think I'll need to work on it, not like out of season, which is fine. I'm not a seasonal stitcher. Next up for seasonal stitching is Yule Goddess by Tiny Modernist. Started this last video, and this one's going by fast, but it's only because I'm in like the top portion where it's fast stitching. Here we are. Let's see if we can't get the color of the green. I think it's right there. So this is Pistachio, 36 count from Atomic Ranch Fabrics. And this is like true to color right here, but I love this one as well. I'm doing this with I'm stitching this 1/2 with the Pirate and Robin Floss pack conversion that you can get off of their website. And these little lights up here are so fun to stitch. I've done 0 of the back stitching, and I'm happy to report that like I can see the white. Maybe not as like noticeable as the picture down in the corner for like this candle. I can see it. So I'm gonna count that as a win, because I was kind of freaking out that the white wasn't gonna like pop off the fabric as much as like the cover photo does. But like, I'm in love with this blue and this kind of like peach. I do believe that's peach. I'm in love with the like color combo right there. And like the skin is very variegated, which I like. I think it's called Latte for the skin. But I mean, her skirt's gonna be down here, and that's going to be full coverage. But I think this one will be a relatively quick stitch. Quick if I like were to work monogamously on it, which we all know I don't. So I do really like this one. This has been fun. And working with Pirate and Robin Floss, 2 of my 4 whips are on that, but I do love it. It's really fun. So my final whip for today is going to be my Stitch for Pride 2025 by Dees 20 Stitches. This was a stitch along for last year, and I did not do my like 12 by 12 plans that I had for this project. These are all projects I brought with me to Florida for my 2-week work trip, and I knew that was gonna be a failure. Like I knew doing a 12 by 12, even if I like started a couple days early or worked on it a couple days later, like just I didn't have as much time for stitching, or at least I did have the time for stitching, but I filled that time with something else. And it's of course digital lead charting paper patterns. That brings me so much joy. Anyways, Stitch for Pride, I did get more on the first like January motif. So there they are right there. Let's see if we can't get the purpley color. maybe. This is a 32 count Gobi linen from Fortnight Fabrics. They're not dyeing anymore. I got this off of a Dees group on Facebook, and it's like, the called for is from Mislaid Pages, and it's a black. I don't really have black in my stash, but I figured this is kind of like a grayish purpley enough color to work with all the colors that I got, because I did get the floss pack, the hand dyed floss from Algae Ross, and this one you can't, the way I stitch, variegation and flosses don't usually always show up. I'm also doing this 2 strands, so I kind of need to figure out how to work best with variegated flosses, because I'm doing more projects with the variegated flosses than DMC. But I would, normally it doesn't bother me, but I do think I kind of want to like experiment with how variegated flosses, how to best stitch them. And I know it's like 1x at a time, and that's great. But I think for me, it's just because when I pull it and I do a loop start, it just like, it gets a more marbly effect as opposed to really like lines. And because there are people who have finished this I've seen on Instagram, and their like use of the variegation is really pretty. Not that this isn't pretty, because I can kind of see there are some lighter spots and some darker patches through here, but just not like the other ones. So that's what I have for Stitch for Pride. There's no Stitch for Pride 2026. I still have 2024 Stitch for Pride that I do want to start. And now that I kind of have like a fancy floss stash, even though the ones that I have bought are called for, like claimed for certain projects, I can maybe start pulling some stuff from stash to see what works with my 2024 spot sampler, because that would be nice to get that working on as well. Yeah, that's it. Those are the 4 whips that I had. December, if you saw my whip parade when I went over stats, December was a very low stitchy month for me, November and December, but especially December. It was easier to pick up my Kindle than it was to like get my projects out and sit and stitch. So I just didn't find myself stitching as often. And it wasn't until I was in Florida that I had like a chart that I was digitizing. So like this was just pure stress or anxiety with like dealing with the holidays, getting everything ready, and then like traveling right before and like trying to spend time with my family before I went away for 2 weeks and all that comes with. So we did not stitch as much, but that's life. It ebbs and flows, and I had a great time. I do think in the new year, I'd like to make more dedicated effort. That's fine. Like I said, this was gonna be a very short stitchy update, Flosstube, so we're gonna jump into haul and plans. I do wanna be sensitive and aware to those. I've heard a lot of people who are doing no buy years, or just like periods of no buy, or being very more mindful about their spending. I love that for you. I think, you know, that's great. I know personally I can't, just the way I would kind of have to do more like self-reflection and therapy and help to kind of figure that out, in terms of like, if I restrict too much, then it's just going to be a big purge either before or after, and that kind of defeats the whole purpose in my mind for a no buy. So I just try to be as mindful as possible, but I will say this got really excessive because my trip to Florida included a trip to the Cross Stitch Cupboard in Fort Lauderdale. I love that store, absolutely love that store, because you have a lot of vintage charts there. And so you can find some real gems. That's where I found Barbara and Cheryl. And so I was itching to go back, and I let myself have it. I don't go shopping in person that often. I do a lot of de-stash and I still shop, but I don't go in person to shop. So it is excessive. So just a heads up. So if you want to dip out, skip ahead. There's plans at the end, but you gotta go through the haul because it relates to the plants. Let's lead up to the LNS haul. I kind of like to do my shopping in chronological order. That's how I have it in my bag. So we have, first up, off of a D-Stash group, we have Under the Oaks. I've been wanting this one for a long time. Barbara and Cheryl, of course. That's kind of like, if I do buy charts now, with the exception of the LNS, I don't buy as much on a D-Stash anymore unless it's Barbara and Cheryl. And this popped up like a while back, but for a really good price. I mean, yeah, there's markings on it, but whatever, the chart in itself. This is originally from Knots and Needles in Bossier City, Louisiana. Bossier, Bossier, Louisiana for sure. So there has to be some French in that. But Knots and Needles, etc. I love this. I think I do have the companion piece, which is Ironwork Gate, where it's just a zoomed in vignette of that, which I can kind of show you here. And there's Ironwork Gate. So I have Ironwork Gate, so I just was missing the bigger piece of Under the Oaks, and that's where you can see Knots and Needles. So of course, I love them. There's not much to say. I have my growing collection, and you'll see several more Barbara and Cheryl in this haul, but I finally have her, Under the Oaks. So lovely. I know I'm filming this like shortly after my whip parade, and I'll probably will go up maybe within a week if I'm timely of it. It's just I have so much haul that I want to put away, and I told myself I can't film unless I can't put things away unless I film it. So I really want to put things away or like get started on them. So that's why we're filming. That's why there's not any update or changes on those whips from my whip parade. All right, the next package I got, it arrived the Saturday before I left, early like Monday morning, and I was out of town. I went and visited my brother and sister-in-law and did our family like pre-Christmas before. So I didn't get my hands on this package until I got back, but it is from Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe, her Etsy store. Such good stuff. I go there frequently, and it's just a good like Etsy store to browse too. But we did purchase more than probably was needed, but I needed a dopamine. Okay, so she had some fabrics. So this is a 36 count Spindrift by Cedar River Linen. I absolutely love Cedar. I think their linens are just delicious. They feel really nice stitching in hand, but it's just a really great neutral cream. What do we want to call it? There's not a lot of modeling, which I like, but there is. Arboreal is like very model, but Spindrift, got that. And then on my quest to get fabric from every dyer possible, I did pick up this Handmade by Rolanda. This is a 28 count linen, 285. Doesn't have a name, so 285. But this, look at this cutie. I love this. I think I have a plan for what I want to do with this, but it is a gorgeous blue green. It was sold with this. I think someone, Stephanie said someone bought it, or someone who gave it to her to de-stash. It was for the Deadly Aquarium sale, but this is, so I'll just unpick that black. It's only like what, 20 stitches, but it is so gorgeous. I love this color. I can see like a world, like it very much looks like planet Earth. I love it. So cute. So I now have a piece of Hand-Dyed by Rolanda. That's exciting. And then this kit is the green bean sampler. I bought it because it was the green bean sampler. I thought, I mean, you don't get a lot of vegetable samplers. I do have my Owl Forest cucumber like harvest sampler. I guess I'm a sucker for like a vegetable sampler, but I think this is adorable. I will not be doing any of this. So this will be taken out, and on this one you can kind of see it without the greenish fabric, but I kind of really like it on this greenish fabric, which is saying something because, oh, this is from Shakespeare Peddler. Yes. The Jenny's Bean Garden, the Green Bean Sampler. That's the full name. But I bought this as a kit. So this one, it was a conversion from the Country Sampler, I do believe. The Country Sampler did a conversion for this. I am inclined to just find like this type of fabric and just do it this way, but because I'm looking at the conversion list and there's really only 3 colors on this conversion that they changed. Well, like 4 technically, but I was looking through the floss list and it's just 3. In this kit came 40 count, what is it? Broom grass. Very pretty. It's coming up more green on camera, but it is more of a like taupey, chocolatey brown. So this was the fabric, 40 count broom grass. Yeah, I would say it's more chocolate than like this green that's coming up with all of these, all the called for threads. So I love the colors in this one. They're very pretty. So again, building a stash of specialty dyed colors. I do think I want it on this green. I don't know, but I have it. I did see, whose whip parade was I watching? I was watching Laura from Lality Stitches, and she actually has this as a whip. So, because I've never seen this before. So it came out in 2023. It's not that recent, but also not that old for it to kind of fall under the radar, but I haven't seen anybody else stitching this. So, but I did see Laura had it in her whip parade, which is a great whip parade. So I got this kit from Stephanie. So I know this is a green bean sampler, but the first thing that came to mind when I was thinking of like taking out all those words was to put something that has to do with like the Punnett squares and like genetics and science, but those were like peas. So it doesn't quite like translate, but I figure like green beans, peas, science, garden, really kind of take the Jesus out of this and kind of put it into, because the quote is like a scripture, and I don't stitch alphabets either, so I would need to taking out the alphabet as well, but kind of put some sort of like Punnett square, genetics, some sort of thing, because that was what the first thing I thought of when I saw this. It was like, oh, green beans, like genetics. And I was like, you dumb, that's peas. You spent like a whole entire like education learning about that. So that was my thought for that, which is why I wanted it to, and it's just unique. I don't see it often. We have a couple Christmas gifts that I received. I put them on my wish list and my family got them for me. So I did get the DMC thread card, and I'm really excited for this because I'm going to go through the old threads from my Italian lemons and actually get the DMC numbers for them, so that way when I go to stitch it a second time, because I would like to have like that piece for myself, I'll be able to use DMC and not the horrible crunchy kit threads that it came with. But I do know like the threads, because I did a digital mock-up, the threads weren't matching, so they weren't matching the like color. So based on the conversion that I was able to find online, so this way I will actually be able to do the manual conversion, which will be a lot of fun. Again, we're going in order. So there is like a Christmas gift that I got, but it was after I got back. So we're going in haul order. Something I scored off of my local Buy Nothing group are these acrylic, I want to say they're like candle, I can't put a candle in there, but I don't know what that would be for. But just got these squares because I would, and I had it on my wish list, but I'm still waiting on one gift from my brother who wanted to send me stuff like after I got back. So I don't know if it's on there, but I want to do the Travel Together series from Jeanette Douglas, and it's a cube. And I figured if I might do it, like I'll find a count that would work so they would fit on here, and maybe I can kind of finish it. So this is on the inside. I don't know, but this was free from my local Buy Nothing. So I figured it doesn't hurt. I could do some maybe like unique finishes with this stuff. So unexpected haul. Okay, now we're into the big kahuna. It's a lot, and I'm going to do my best to kind of like, one, you're not gonna hear the crinkling, fingers crossed, and two, I will be taking the time to go through it. Let's go on this journey together. I realized that I'm very much a digital stitcher, but when I was looking through my like files app and my like cloud storage of charts, I have way more paper charts than I have digital charts. So I guess I'm a collector. I'm a collector. That's what I've determined, is I like to collect these things. Because the best thing about, so I went to the Cross Stitch Cupboard in Fort Lauderdale. Lovely, lovely shop. It is head to toe cross stitching. They do have some needlepoint in there, but they have all the vintage charts, because I've only been to like a couple other needlework shops, and they just tend to stock newer ones, which is fair. The demand on the vintage charts are for like collectors or hunters, and she sells them for at cost. She doesn't mark it up because they're older. If it says $3 on the paper, she sells it for $3. So that's fun, because the most of the stuff that I buy for like Barbara and Cheryl or other like charts, people do mark it up a little bit, because like for them to sell something for $3 is not really profitable for them. So there's that tidbit. Let's go through the charts. They had a tree that had some decorations on it. So these two were decorations, and I got this little monster. What are these? Who are these from? It's AB Designs. They're just cute little things. I did buy like special variegated flosses, so I figured my toddler right now, she's really into monsters. So I figured like they're just fun, cute, like I can do different colors for them, and kind of like they did have them finished as ornaments. So I got these ones. It's like a last minute buy. I found this lovely. I do love florals. This is from Cedar Hill. What is this called though? Wildflowers. Was very pretty. Picked that one up. Then, just because I wanted to, I got Reflections of Amsterdam. I've seen a couple people in their whip parade that they are working on this. This I bought because the model was so stinking cute and so small. So, and it's a unique house. It was a teeny tiny ornament, and I know this calls for it being stitched on like a 30 count fabric. It was stitched so teeny tiny, and I probably will stitch it so teeny tiny, like on a 40 count or 46. But this was so cute. I don't do a lot of like Christmas winter stitching. What is this? Grandpa's pickup from the farmhouse Christmas from Little House Needleworks. So cute. It is true. Like some of these things that I bought, like I don't think if I saw this on a Dees site, maybe I would have bought this, but would I have bought that? No, but the like finished models are crazy cute. It is true. You do have to kind of see things finished in person for it to actually be like by the chart. Next up, they were just tiny. I think they had a couple models of this one, so this was tiny. So this is Sweet Nothings for Christmas. Such a good little smalls for Christmas. Do we stitch a lot of Christmas? No, but got that. Then we have Lenarte Wildflowers. Love this one. And it has two other charts in there as well. I'm a collector. And then this one I got, I've stitched my mom something. I haven't stitched my dad and my stepmom something. And I saw the model for this and I thought it was super cute. Would go, like she'd hang it up in her RV. High Tides and Good Vibes. Happy Camper series. I have since been informed, and I thought it was just an upside down pineapple, but 2 flamingos in an RV park in front of your RV also signals that you're swingers. So I think it only applies in like RVs, not in like a normal house. But I thought it was just upside down pineapple. It does have another chart for like a stitching mermaid on the back here. So there's that. Then we have, I'm not gonna get this out, so Glare City. I got Santa Revisited because there was this model and I really loved that one with the moon, the stars, the planet Earth. So this is 95, 2003, and 2004. So this is actually the 1995 Santa. So 2003 and 2004, your guess is as good as mine because I'm not going to open this right now. But yeah, so I wanted that one. My mom is just discovering like Mill Hill kits and perforated paper, and she loves them. But then the recent news nowadays is Mill Hill is replacing their perforated paper with plastic. Kind of defeats the whole purpose for me as a stitcher. Even though I've only stitched 1 Mill Hill, it's kind of something that's a big bummer. And I have seen videos where it's thin as paper, but it's still plastic. For me, this craft is like I was gonna say sustainable, but I'm not doing sustainable practices. But in theory, like these are all like sustainable materials, cotton, silk, even though there's debates about the sustainability and ethics of silk, but it's still fibers, natural fibers. So to be doing plastic is ridiculous. But anyways, I saw that they had perforated paper in stock, so I decided to get her several 2, 4, 6, 8 sheets of perforated paper. And because I shopped and paid so much, I got a free gift with purchase. So I chose the new Punch Needle and Primitive Stitch magazine. I kind of really like this one. I wish this wasn't a winter project or like a winter magazine, just because I don't want to stitch so many Christmas and winter stuff, but it was nice, free gift with purchase. She did offer the like Nashville cookbook, and I've heard those are great. I just don't want another cookbook. I really went down there with the sole purpose of finding more Barbara and Cheryl's. I have a notes in my phone that is my whole entire collection, and I am slowly getting rid of, or not getting rid, but I'm slowly accumulating all of that my need, like the missing ones is getting shorter and shorter, and obviously the reverse side, the ones I have is longer and longer. So I picked up Church Street, a lovely one. Church Street. I have a South Battery View, which goes a companion piece to Queen Street Alley, because I do have that one. So South Battery View, but like she will sell this for $5. She doesn't mark it up. $5. And this was $5 in 1988. So even with inflation, this should be way more than $5, but she just sells it for $5. Then we got, this is a harder to find one, Summer Colors. I love it. Cute little vignette. And I am now I'm missing only one. And I forget, I think I'm missing number 3. But City Gardens, booklet 4. Love them. Then just adding it to the collection. As I say, I don't want to stitch so many Christmas things, but Christmas Gallery from Barbara and Cheryl. Cute little motifs. If I ever need like an ornament or I don't know, advent. And then this was, so she, in her shop, she sets it up all by like designer or theme, like florals or whatever. So you can find things that way. But this was in like just, there's so much to look for there. It was just in a thing that said like $1 charts. I found a B&C and a $1 chart. There's zero reason why I would want this, but Barbara and Cheryl, that's why. This next one is what took up most of my stitching time in Florida because I bought it and I instantly had to digitize this. So this is LDR 1753. It is from Berlin Samplers. So my German. My mom knows German. I do not. I found this in like, it was, I think, supposed to be a kit, but it wasn't. I found this in like a bin. I was digging through it and this magically popped up. I bought it because it's an original sampler. So it's a reproduced sampler, but it is on display at the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam. And there's a very beautiful story about this. So I won't go into it, but again, I'm a sucker for like anything Dutch. I am, but this, I was like, this is, instead of just like the Dutch sampler that, I forget what company has one that's like a Dutch sampler, but this is like straight from Holland, from Amsterdam. Yeah. So I did digitize this chart. I'll hopefully put like a rendering of what it should look like, because this, like, it has some damage and like there is a story that goes with the sampler too. This, at the time, 2015, it was a house that was still standing in Amsterdam. I've since Googled the location, and it doesn't look like this gabled house is still there. So that's a bit of a bummer because I was like, next time I'm in the Netherlands, I'll go check it out. And like, in my mind, I would have either had this as a whip or a finish, but I would have taken it with me and held it up and done that cute little picture. But it's not there from like the Google Maps that I saw. But it is like, the story behind it is she was what, 10 years old when she stitched this, and it's just an homage to her family house. And this, again, is something that is hanging at the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam. And I think, guys, we are entering a sampler season for me, which I never thought I would be a sampler person. But you just hit me with history, and these letters in here, it is a saying. What is it saying? It says, we know that it says, this house was built by my grandfather, IDR 1697, and roughly translated, I show it for all the world to see. She was just bragging about our family home, which I get it, girl. I love the house I grew up in. This was fun. This was so much fun to chart. It's funky. Like, if you can see the little, like, there's a bird in like the top corner that's like funky colors. Like, it's charted in DMC, but like I think for like the border, I did count it out because I did the border first, like how many stitches. So I do think I want to do like a variegated floss for the border and maybe the brick. I don't know, but like, this is a funky chart and I love it. So this was so much fun. But I also, the way I normally chart things is I'll scan in the pictures and like upload it, put it behind a grid and digitize it in Max Stitch. But that was like no way. I really wanted to like start charting it now. Wasn't gonna work in Florida. So I went page by page for a 24 page. I don't even think these aren't like a standard 8.5 by 11 either. Page by page charting this. Took me about a week or more. So all my stitching time, it was way easier to bring out my computer and this chart to chart it. But look how it's so cute. LDR 1753. Hello, it's so cute. So cute. I got some pretty fabrics. This one is called Split Pea Soup and zero plans for it. It's a funky color, and I 100% bought it because right now my niece and nephew are into watching The Rescuers Down Under, and their favorite part of that movie is in the beginning where they just yell pea soup. And it's a hilarious moment when we watch it. So I very much just bought this because pea soup. This is split pea soup, but I got this. This is from Lap and Loops, and I do not have, I don't think I have a fabric from Lap and Loops. So again, it's a dyer that I do not have. Again, this one is a dyer I've never even heard of either, but I saw this and I was like, this is the most gorgeous piece of fabric I've ever seen. But it also reminds me of what I stitched my Happy Flowers Biscornu on, which is a Silk Weavers, but this is by Mountain Air. It's called Purple Sunrise, 36 count. I think my Lap and Loops, this is 32 count. This is 36 count. I've never heard of Mountain Air. I don't know if they're still dyeing. Don't know anything about it, but like, look at this gorgeous, gorgeous fabric. I originally was like, maybe this could work for my I See the Moon chart, but this will not work for I See the Moon. I think it's just too much orange for what I would want for that. And it is a 36 count. I was really trying to find a 32 count. Fabric that you see next is what I chose. And it's a 36 count. They didn't have these colors in 32 count. So this next one is Orchid by Atomic Ranch in a 36 count. So this is what I'm gonna do for I See the Moon, which is a chart that I don't have within reach. I See the Moon by M Designs. So you see how pretty of a purple, which is why this one from Mountain Air, I just, like, as much as I wanted it, it was not gonna work for this piece. Too orange, even though it's gorgeous. So I went with what I was showing off was Orchid by Atomic Ranch, and this will work. I think this will work 100%. Again, there's my love. I got this from Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe, a giveaway that she had on her channel. I think this fabric will work perfectly for this chart. So it is a 36 count, which this is charted on 32, and there's beads in here. I'm a little nervous because I already bought the beads. I'm a little nervous about how that will work out. So as you'll see in this upcoming haul, I tried my best to have a full like Mill Hill bead collection. So I couldn't do what was called for here. I couldn't pick and like compare. So I got what hopefully could work as substitutes, but if not, hopefully because I need petite beads for 36, right? And what I had is just regular glossy beads for 32, but this was the only fabric I could find that would work. We'll go into that bead conversion haul right now. So I got so many, because I was just trying to go off of what was like called for. I got so many petite beads, and I only think like one of these will work, or what's called for. So I did pick up the petite version, and I'll just see what happens with that 36 count. Maybe I don't need them. Who knows? I did a couple things I bought for my mom too. So my mom's having a hard time threading her needle, her beading needle for the Mill Hill kits. And so the lady said, the shop owner said like this needle threader could work, but I did see the specific Mill Hill needle threaders, and this one has the cutter with it. So I did pick these up for her. So hopefully like this will work for her beading needle. It's made specifically by Mill Hill, so I'm assuming this will work for their kits. So I got that for her. I thought, I've seen there's different sizes of snag nabbits. I thought that this would work. I think there are different sizes of snag nabbits, but this snag nabbit is the same size as the one that I have. But I kind of want a snag nabbit for like my 40 count projects, because like that needle's too thick to go through, too big to go through like 40 count if I need one for 46 or 56. So I know, just have an extra. I might send it to my mom. They had the Threadworks Night Garden a palette. So I picked this up because I had FOMOs, and so I was able to get these. These are so gorgeous. So I might need to pick up a couple more, or I have 0 of them, but I might need to pick up the charts for that. And then they had cottage garden threads at this shop. This one has been on my radar for so long, mainly Alice. I've been wanting Alice for so long, just can never find really people who will stock it. So they had this color pack, love it. And they have this one. I just bought it because I was like, I want them. I did buy the Cottage Garden Threads floss pack from Abby from Top Knot Stitchers to send to I just sent it to my mom because she was doing a fall, like winter. They did, I think it was for Cross Stitch the Rainbow, a like fall palette. So she got that chart at Pinwist on the freebie table. So I bought her the floss pack to go with that. So I haven't experienced them, but everybody I've said loves them. So I just got these two. They're so cute. And so this was also like for those monster charts, like maybe this one could be a good one. I don't know. And then I saw that they had almond M&M silks at this place. So I picked up these gorgeous silks. Even one of these could be like one of the monsters. Like, I don't know, but I wanted to try these silks and they're not easy to find, at least for me. I know I could probably buy direct, but part of cross stitching for me is like the hunt and the treasures and the discoveries. So I got these. So this is Moss Boss and this is Azores. I thought these were just so cute for that. This last little bit of haul works with the plan. So that's kind of how I do things, but I wanted to, we have more haul, but I picked up this chart, Next Door by Heartstring Samplery. It says, I wish you lived next door. I picked up this chart, I do believe at the freebie table at Pinwist, and I really want to stitch this for my friend who doesn't live here, who basically every time we talk about like living closer together. Rumor has it she will move from the Midwest to the somewhere, either LA or San Diego, don't know, but one of these, but rumor. She's been talking about moving forever. So I bought all the called for threads. I just love the colors in this one. Like, look at, especially the blue, the orange, the green, the purple. Probably could have done without these two or used something else, but I wanted to kit it up because I love the colors on here. So that's the final thing that I bought at the cross stitch cupboard. What a delight, I swear. That was just such a special day. I spent like a couple hours there. I made a whole day of it. The family that I work for, they know that like I just need one day to go down to shop and it makes my entire trip to Florida worth it. We still have haul. But that was all cross stitch haul, cross stitch covered haul. Okay, this next one. So my family, like, so we do Christmas gifts, and I never have anything on a list to really like put, like, if I want something, I'm a single woman, independent woman who has disposable income. So I just buy, as you can tell, I bought like my Christmas gifts for myself. But I did have one thing on my radar that I told my mom that I would like, and she has graciously kitted it up for me, including buying the chart. But I've had my eye on Florence Mary Dickinson from Hands Across the Sea Sampler. It is a Hobby House Needleworks exclusive, so that is what it's been on my radar forever. But who did I see? I will put the Flosstube name down here. She doesn't do a lot of like updated videos, but when she does, I like them. And I saw that she had this as like a whip and was either abandoning it or something, but I fell in love with this chart, fell in love with the colors. There's no alphabet on it. I absolutely love it. It is the first sampler where I was like, yes, please. This is what I want. This is what's calling to me. So I asked my mom to kit this up for me. So we got this baby, and I asked her for the 103s. So this is all of the silks for this project. I need to figure out how to do like silk management for projects. And then I've decided to stitch it on 46 count. So that is why I did the 56 count for practice, was so if I could do 56, I wanted this to be done on 46 because it will be 11 by 13. And that is a manageable size that I can conceive having in my life. Even a 40 is like 13 by 15, but I don't want something super massive. So if I can do it on 46 count, then I'll do it on 46 count. So it's not here yet, but I'll show it to you when it arrives. But I did decide to get Maple Bar from Cedar River Linen in a 46 count. So that's taking its time to get to me as expected. So that's exciting. But she got this, so thank you, Mom. I'm super excited to get working on Florence, and I am, of course, digitizing this. There's no way. They're half pages, but it's 28, and this is actually really easy to like digitize, so I am doing this one, and I'm super excited to do this one. I've been chatting with Stephanie from Cross Stitch Club, and I think she's gonna start this with me. So whenever my fabric gets in, we're gonna start this. So I'm super excited. This is like my one big chart. In 10 years, it will look gorgeous, but it's little Flo. Yeah, age 10. I don't know if I want to put her name in there. Who knows? That's TBD. That is officially all the haul, but that goes into plan. So this is going to be a planned new start. This is what I want to work on. At some point, it'll be a new start, probably February, whenever that fabric comes in, and it will be gorgeous and delicious. And I might go eat a Maple Bar in celebration of that getting here, but that is going to be a new start. Other plans that I have. In my WIP parade, I do have a couple focus projects, like mainly smalls, that I would like to get off my WIP list. And so that is my Modern Butterfly from Box & Fox, Modern Abstract Florals from Box & Fox. So like very little stitching left on that. That is the Otter from Sitka Stitches. It is the Amur Leopard from Lindy Stitches. It is the Raccoon from Cottage Garden Samplings. So that's 6, right? Oh, and then it's Summer Celebration Small from Hello from Liz Matthews. So those are like what I plan to hopefully finish this year. I do want to, let's see here. Oh, I think I'm gonna start Barbara and Cheryl Sundays. So every Sunday I wanna bring out my Barbara and Cheryl Sunshine and Shadows, or maybe even start another Barbara and Cheryl. Lord knows I have so many charts to choose from. I do have one other that I've digitized. They're all full coverage. So full coverage for me definitely needs to be on an app. Anything else, I probably could have done this without digitizing it, but because it's such a large chart, I do want to get that done. Other plans is I have a lot of blue flower charts. So I would really love, I did at Jingle Ball, I got the I got a lot of Jingle Ball. I don't think we talked about that, but we'll talk about that when it comes up. I did get from the Blue Flower, I got the winter holiday card. It's the buffalo and the Christmas sweater. I think it's adorable. So I kind of want to work on that. Now I can't believe I forgot. The I See the Moon chart that I have digitized is ready to go, because I'm gonna chop off this whole like bottom bit with the numbers and the alphabet. So I needed to rechart it anyway. So I digitized the entire chart. And now that I have the fabric, this baby's gonna get started. I might jump on the bandwagon of full moon stitching. The likelihood that I'm gonna know that it's a full moon and bring it out on a full moon, assuming that I have the mental capacity to stitch that day, very low. But if I just bring it out once a month and claim it as full moon stitching, I think that'll be good. But like, I can't commit 2 days, like 2 certain days, stitching things on certain days. I just don't know how I'm gonna feel that day. I don't know what the mood is going to be. Am I going to be exhausted? Was that a long day for me? Are things happening? Like, I just can't commit like that. But I do kind of want to claim it as full moon stitching because I get FOMOs. I have been a member of Needleworks Designs Ko-Fi. I'm in the Flossy Fellows, I think it's Cat Rancher, but the one where you get the Flossy Fellows like animal chart every other month. And so what got me was the otters, the fishing buddies chart. I absolutely love this. It is so cute. And I actually think the blue fabric from Handmade by Rolanda, I think this fabric would be perfect for fishing buddies. I think this would be adorable. So I really want to do that as a start, as a plan. We're giving you all my plans right now. So I think that one would be a lot of fun. I want to do more political stitching. So from Jen's Fiberweb, she has the Resist chart that I've mentioned before. She has the SAF Stitchers Against Fascists chart. And then from Witch's Garden Craft, she came out with a couple charts that I want to do, but I just kind of want to make more things, just make it known. What a world we live in. What a world. I think that's all the plans. Yeah, I think that's it for stitching. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm gonna go into life updates. If you don't care about my life, fair. See you next time. I got back from Florida. So I was in Florida for 2 weeks. It was a way better trip than the last couple of times that we have been. And I think it all has to do with where we stayed, better restaurants, things to do. The beach was like 5 minutes away. So Christmas Day, I like woke up on my own. The family was staying in a house with the family. They did their own thing, and when they left to go to another family's house to do more family stuff, I booked it to the beach and just kind of sat on the beach and enjoyed life. I had realized that I had never been to a Florida beach before. Maybe when I was a kid, when we vacationed there, but I had like never actually been to a Florida beach. And I was like, that's crazy. So I just went to one of the beaches, and then I like realized it the day, like driving to the airport as we were about to get on our flight to go to Florida, that Oregon would be playing in the Orange Bowl in Miami. And like I had only known that information like a week prior, and this trip had been like planned months in advance. So like I didn't put two and two together until I was on the flight to the airport with the family. And I was like, guys, New Year's Day, like tickets aren't that bad. And there is an alumni tailgate also going on, and I was gonna have a rental car, like all these things. It was only like an hour and a half, 2-hour drive away. Like it wasn't that bad. Like that to me is just driving down like the same amount of time driving down to my brother and sister-in-law's, which I do like on a regular like monthly or like twice monthly like thing. So I went to the Orange Bowl and it was so much fun. I even met up with a friend that I hadn't seen in like so long, and she had her like son with her because she's now a mom, which is crazy. And so I saw her, went to the Orange Bowl, had a wonderful like extra day off. And it was a high to then have been met with the low of the game that just happened this week. But before that, I had like broke my curse because I told myself I couldn't go to any playoff games. No one really cares about this stuff really, unless you really care. But I'd banned myself from playoff games because every playoff game that I went to, we lost, except for one actually. But my record wasn't good. When I called my dad and I was like, Dad, I can go to this game. He's like, what's your record of going to the playoff games? I was like, not good, but it would be fun nonetheless. So I got the alumni tailgate, which they put our tailgate in the club level of the Hard Rock Stadium, which was freaking awesome. And once you were up on the club level, they didn't check your ticket. I could have stayed the entire game on the club level, but I did kind of want to like be in the stands and watch the game. So I had to to send down. Should have just bought a club level ticket, but whatever. It was fine. My ticket was awesome. View of the field was awesome. We beat Texas Tech like so gracious, like great game. The one on Friday was not a great game. It's fine. We win some, we lose some. It is the nature. That's the recent life updates. Looking ahead, I think actually 2026, I'm not going to be traveling as much, which I'm excited about. I feel like I can really like get in a groove here at home. Really, I've been living in my apartment for like 4 years now. But it's just, I've been traveling, or there's always been stuff where I just kind of, it's broken up my life, so to speak. And so, really looking forward to spending time here, really becoming the introverted homebody that I am. The only thing that I have on the docket for like personal travel is to hopefully go to Pinwis in Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit in September this year. Registration doesn't open till February, so fingers crossed. My mom and I will be able to go, and that'll be a fun trip for us. And then let's see here, work, I think we only have like one trip that we're gonna go, and it would be like a week, and it is somewhere new, but it's still like family related. I think they really have realized that traveling with 2 kids is not fun, even with a nanny. There's so much stuff that we have to bring. So I think after like our crazy travel to Nantucket where we stayed at a hotel, I think it just really like highlighted like, hey, if you want to travel with your kids this young, like we just need to go visit family, stay at family homes, like no hotels or like that sort of stuff. But it's not always the most fun travel. So the one trip I think that they're thinking of is family travel, but it will be fun travel for them. I think they want to do that trip. So that's all that I have on the docket. 2026. It's been a crazy beginning of 2026, and I don't know what the future holds for this year. That's also why I'm just kind of like happy to just take it as it comes. Not that I will do a no buy, because this morning I did buy stuff on a Dees off of a Dees group. So I won't do a no buy. Spoiler, it's a Barbara and Cheryl. And it was on my list. Right now, that is kind of all that I'm like impulse buying. Anything else, I don't really get influenced by like Nashville coming up or anything. Like there's charts that obviously I would like, but I don't buy them right away. And people always need to know what I would want for like gift giving, like my birthday or Christmas. So save it for that. I think that's it. I don't really have anything else to talk about. I'm gonna go put all this stuff back and maybe start some new stuff today, because now that I've shown you all of the haul, I can start. That's kind of like why I wanted to film right away. And I wanted to get all this stuff put into its organized, because I had someone clean my apartment yesterday, treated myself to that. And my apartment is now 100% clean, and I want to keep it that way. So all this stuff has to go away now. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting, or any connection that we've had like through Instagram or here on YouTube. And if I haven't gone back to you, it's because I answered in my head and I just didn't type it out. But thank you so much for being here. This has been so fun to share all this craft with you. I've met some really great people, so I can only hope to meet more great people, like either in person or virtually, as the year unfolds. And I hope everyone's happy and healthy. And if you're not, I hope you're taking care of yourself, or that you have a good support system to help support you. If you need anything, reach out. I will try to do what I can from where I'm at, or I'm really good at listening. So I'm here to help if you need it. But all that to say, stay awesome, be awesome, and do kind things. Thanks so much, and have a great one.